Go ahead and you can call the attendance or who's here.
Okay, so this is Carol Carey, and we're starting the meeting for February 10th, 2022. And we've got Amy Hawansky, Faith Foley, and John Marr on the call, along with Laura Robertson and Linda. So I guess we will get started. And if others join, we'll announce them as they join. So the first is to go over the approval of the, I guess, last 2 months meeting minutes. So does anybody have any comments from either the December or the January meeting minutes?
Can we do one at a time?
Yeah, sure. Let's start with December. Any comments? No comments?
Do we have enough to vote?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to make sure there are no comments.
No, I don't know if we have enough members present to vote.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
No.
Yeah, we don't. But you could give us any comments that you have. Let me check my email and see if people are having a hard time logging in.
I don't remember why we were doing the December notes again. There was something in the January notes that said we were going to bring it back, but I don't remember.
There were just
Right.
a lot of comments.
Yeah,
lot
we
of
had just made
changes.
so many changes. I
Okay.
think they wanted a chance to kind of be able to
Okay.
go through those.
Yeah, a couple of them we re-listened to the meeting too, just to be safe.
It wasn't the usual simple change this then to then.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
some phrasing.
So do we have any comments for the December one, even if we can't formally approve? No?
I didn't
Okay.
find anything.
Okay, how about the January 13th one?
Jonathan, do you have something?
I just have two very small ones.
Okay, John, why don't you go first?
Line 47,
Yes?
he asked if, I think it's supposed to be the Girl Scouts,
Okay.
Good.
right? You got that?
Linda, were you able to get that?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, I'm going to interrupt because while you're on that line, if the Girl Scouts could help, oh, never mind. That corrects. I had an issue with them, but that corrects it. You're good.
Okay. Okay. And John, did you have anything else?
You had one other. Let me
Okay.
find it. It was line 154.
Okay.
Acting Chairperson Hawansky noted that I think we needed to say the list was important.
Yep. Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. And Amy, did you have anything?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. For January, line 16, Daryl, weren't you here were you here at last month's meeting? It says that you were absent, but I thought you were here.
Wait a minute. No, I'm the wrong one. Sorry.
I was absent last time.
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry.
And just to clarify, Daryl Bray just joined.
And now we
The
can
call.
vote.
Okay, good.
And then on line 29, she noted Niskayuna has about 20 troops. She asked if the town could grant a portion of their tree planting budget, $1,000, to troops that wish to plant trees. So just to be clear, that maybe could be interpreted as the town's planting budget is only 1,000, but I think what we're saying is that we want to take 1,000 of the town's planting budget. So maybe clarifying, maybe move the 1,000 to after portion. I don't know. Grant a portion, $1,000 of the tree planting budget, and then put whatever our total budget is, just to make that clear.
Okay.
And then I think on line 53, acting chairperson Hawansky noted an aspect of the program is to honor existing trees. again, just for the sake of clarity, an aspect of the Girl Scouts program is to
Okay.
honor existing trees, because that came directly out of the packet.
Okay.
On line 67, Ms. Robertson noted that the council has and continues to work through the goals as they are presented. I think it would read better if we said, noted that the council has worked, comma, and continues to work, comma, through the goals as they are presented.
Okay.
A similar clarity thing on 70 and 71. He asked Ms. Robertson if she had the numbers of trees planted in town and trees removed, a goal for these values. So I think if we put the numbers of trees planted in town and the number of trees removed, that would help clarify a little bit.
Okay.
So I think that's it.
Okay. And so Daryl, just to bring you up to speed, now with you joining, we now have a quorum that we can vote to accept the meeting minutes. Without you, we didn't. So does somebody want to make a motion first to accept the December meeting minutes?
I will motion to accept.
Okay. Anyone want a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. So then we'll go on to the January meeting minutes. Does anybody want to make a motion to accept those meeting minutes?
I will motion to accept.
Okay, second? Anyone want, Amy? Okay. All in favor of accepting the January meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, good. So next, we've got any privilege of the floor, Laura?
No, I
Oh.
didn't. Oops. Yeah, I didn't receive any.
Okay, and Amy?
I received one half an hour ago.
Okay.
A person who lives on Mohawk Road is very concerned and distraught about the amount of tree removal that has been happening in town. And I hope that I'm honoring what she said and interpreting this correctly, you know, presenting, hopefully I'm not filtering it through my own bias. I'd like to present what she was saying. So she's upset and worried about some of the different areas that are under construction. And I tried to talk with her about all the different programs that we're doing and the role of the tree council, not so much as police, but kind of as advisors and consultants and encouragers, and how we are involved in several of the projects that she mentioned, encouraging the diversity of tree species, the increasing number of trees that should be added back in, and just making sure that those trees are planted. I also told her about several of our initiatives from the past few years and what we're trying for the future, such as we're talking about the Girl Scout program. We have Arbor Day, giving away the free seedlings, how we did the projects on Ray and Cornelius and also on Dean Street. And we're going to be doing more neighborhoods again, how we're continuing to do the elm tree planting project in the parks, how she has the opportunity to call the highway department / parks department to get on a list to request a street tree, but it has to be within the town's right of way. And then also there's the memorial tree program, which we're trying to kind of get consolidated and running in a way that people are aware of, so that she could buy a tree and give it to the town and it would be planted in a park or a town location. So hopefully I have answered a lot of her questions. She's going to call the highway department to get on the list for street trees, but she wanted to express her concern that there are, when the developments happen, it's a clear cutting, and she's concerned that we're not putting in as many trees as what was cut down.
Mm-hmm.
And that is it.
Okay, good. Thank you, Amy. Okay, so next after privilege of the floor is new business, and it looks like we've got the 2022 goals. And I wasn't at the last meeting, but it looks like we people worked on the goals. So, Laura, do we still need to discuss this, or is it a work in progress, or are we supposed to accept them?
I believe that I took into account all the comments we had at the last meeting, so it would be appropriate to accept them. If you guys had some changes, we could do the, amendments, but unless there was something really outstanding, I think we can just amend them if there's something missing, and then adopt them.
And also, as we go through the year, can't we kind of adjust our goals based on,
What's happening?
what's happening?
Definitely.
I have a question / thought about it.
Sure.
I've been thinking about Amy's suggestion that we have like Balltown Road eventually become, a nice street with these trees hanging over and giving the town a real tree flavor. Is that something we should like put in a long-term goal, so we're constantly thinking towards achieving that at some point?
I think our issue with Balltown Road, and Laura, correct me if I'm wrong, I love the town center idea,
Yeah.
but we don't, that's a state road, is it not? Or it's not?
It is a state road. I'm unclear. So like in town of Niskayuna code, you're technically not allowed to plant in the right of way without permission from the highway superintendent. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I don't think he particularly objects to it unless, but I'm not clear if the state has a rule like that. It may be that they don't care and we could plant a bunch of trees in the right of way. But
Or we
I'm
could
not
reach
sure.
out to them and ask.
Yeah, we could ask. Yeah.
Mhm.
Jonathan, thank you for referring to that idea. I can't take credit for that idea. I think it was Chris Zimmerman's idea. I just agree with him quite a bit and see how it can flourish and we can extend it beyond even the initial idea.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I just want to make sure we don't put a goal that we don't have control over if it's, so I think if we could reach out to them, they may not even care and they may say, go, that they would love us to do that. So I think maybe that's our next step, to see if we could do that along Balltown Road.
Yeah, but for I guess under 1B, continuing tree planting programs, we could put explore possibility of town center overlay planting plan or something like that.
What about Knott Street East as well?
So Knott Street East is within the town center overlay. So I think what Jonathan was mentioning and what Chris was going after is that everything in our town center has a similar look and feel, or not necessarily similar, but has a consistency.
Cohesive.
Yeah, cohesiveness.
Yes,
Yeah.
Some sense of harmony and unity. through
Yeah.
the long whole corridor.
Yeah. So like they're regularly treed or,
Yeah.
something like that.
Where-
So we could put
Where
that
do you
as,
want to put it? Which section?
Well, so if under 1B, continue tree planting programs, we have the Blatnick signs, we have street programs, we have a, tree planting reimbursement. I think you could put, explore possibility of town center overlay planting plan.
yeah, I like
Okay.
that as item 4.
Yeah. IV. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it becomes IV.
Or IV. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, IV.
Anything else? Amy, you had your hand raised.
Yes, please. So last time, I think Paul wanted taken out the specific line about tree diversity, and you felt that it just wasn't needed to be listed as a goal. It would just be part of our practice. I'm okay with it coming out as long as we don't then lose it as part of our practice. That it's it's always part of our protocols.
And I don't see that, Amy. Where is that in the goals?
Well, it was taken out.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
You probably noticed I also took out adopt tree of value definition, but then I was so worried we would lose it that I moved it into ongoing responsibilities. We could also
Okay.
do that with
Cat.
we could do that with
Yeah.
increased diversity. Like our ongoing responsibility could be to increase tree diversity.
Can we do that? Then it's not like an official primary goal, but we don't forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think the purchase unique and special trees for parks was the diversity.
We always do
Where's
that though.
where's that one? What line is that?
1D.
1D. Well, we could add unique,
Well,
diverse.
Maybe that comes out because it wasn't just for parks, it was for street trees too. Maybe then maybe D comes off and the whole concept of diversity goes down into ongoing responsibilities.
I think that's fine too.
Or
Okay.
change parks to town right-of-ways, which would include streets and.
Well, you can just say purchase unique and special trees, or you could say, so you could do ongoing responsibilities, increase diversity, like comma, purchase unique and special trees. Something like
Okay.
that.
Right. Okay. Anything else from the goals that we can think of? Okay, then I guess we can also do a motion to accept our 2022 goals. This,
I'll do the motion.
okay, Amy did the motion. Anyone want to second it?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor of, I thought we lost Amy and we need Amy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that has passed. Great. It'll be good that we have these goals all set early in the year. Discussion items. Okay, Laura, we're going on to the ongoing projects. Ace Hardware.
Yes. Sorry, Linda just wanted me to mention, and I will do this as part of the updates to the goals that we just discussed. I will fix the spelling in the subcommittees. There's
Fix the
some names
spellings?
spelled wrong. Yeah, sorry about that. I will fix that. Yeah, so the ongoing projects, I don't really have that much to report, but since they're sort of a continuation until spring, I didn't want to take them really off the agenda so we don't lose them. But yeah, we still have, so Ace Hardware, we have the plan outlined for the spring. The Eastern Parkway mixed use development, we're waiting for them to resubmit a planting plan to us. And I haven't received that yet. So we're waiting for the planting plan on that. 1356 Balltown Road will come off the agenda at the next meeting, but I wanted to let you guys know that that one is the area between CVS and WRGB that we felt like they desperately needed a planting plan and weren't planting enough trees. And they got denied by the zoning board. So for now, that project is off the table. So that one I will take off the agenda after this meeting, but I wanted to let you guys know that that one essentially got denied.
So Laura, what does that mean? Is it denied for good or do they come back again with?
So they could come back again. They have the ability, they can't come back with the exact same application though, once it's denied from the zoning board. So they can Article 78 it, which they may do, which means that they are essentially appealing the decision to the courts. Or they can change their application. Theoretically, the only thing that you would want to do to that is reduce the number of variances and then go back to the zoning board on that. Right now, they haven't submitted any new plans. So,
Okay.
so for now, it's going to stay a forest for a little while longer. And then, I'll let you guys know if a new plan comes.
Okay. And what about Rivers Ledge?
So Rivers Ledge, phase 1, we still need their final planting plan, updated planting plan. They haven't given it to us yet. I talked to them about it. You may have seen the article in the paper.
Yes.
They were able to go into their temporary COs, but they can't go into final CO on any of their buildings until we finalize the planting plan with them. They obviously aren't doing that until the spring, so I don't think they feel like this massive need to get it to us, but I will continue to harass them because I think the earlier we get that, the better it'll be for us to be able to say, okay, for the spring.
And can we also at that time do a walk around?
Yeah.
we had
I mean, you
talked
can
about?
you can still do a walk around now. It's just nothing is planted, right? But you can
Yeah.
visualize, yes. So
But it helps so much when you're there and you're like, okay, this is this. That's what they're going to do here.
yeah, yeah. So you can take the plan set that they have now and walk around and see what you think, you know. And the other thing we can do is walk the park because you know, there still are some why can't I sorry. There we go. There's still some trees that need to be planted in the spring down there, but we also have the trees that we ordered. So I mean, like if there's a good place for, I think we bought like a Zelkova and a Katsura, and we might be able to find some spaces down there as well. And then we also talked about putting the majority of the elm trees down there. I think some across. So what we talked about the last time we talked about the elm trees was some across the road from Town Hall and some at that park. 'Cause we got
And
30.
Laura and others, for people that didn't see the article in the paper, the people across the river were concerned and complaining because of the light pollution. Now that all of that buffer has been taken down, you know, the lights from the cars, etc., are shining across the river, and just, you know, they've lost that buffer. So I don't know if we need to think about putting any conifers or evergreens in there a little bit more to try to, you know, have a year-round buffer. Now that may also block the view from the people in the condos trying to look at the river.
I mean, it doesn't have to. Like if you put, you know, kind of thick, lower growing conifers along the edges of the parking, and then you know, leave the windows more open to the river. I think there's ways to make it work for everybody. I definitely think that can be achieved. They did add more evergreens because evergreens was a specific request of those residents. So they had gone back, River's Ledge had gone back and added in more evergreens, but not a whole lot. So I think that there's room there. What they're waiting, what I've been waiting on them for is, remember they had foundation plan for one of the buildings, and we said, listen, you don't want the same foundation plan for every single building. You're putting like 700 daylilies in there.
And boxwood, you know,
And
500 boxwood.
And we said, please diversify that. They said, okay, we'll go to at least 2 foundation plantings, which would half all of those numbers. So we're waiting for the second foundation plan before we really dive into the numbers and the landscaping. But we haven't gotten that yet. So I kind of email him every couple weeks, but you know, I'll email him again and see if I can get that on there, because that's probably going to be our main, like, March project.
Okay, and yeah, to kind of address the concerns from the residents across the river, maybe we, you know, put in more conifers
Along the edges of the park, like especially if the parking spot, it'd be like a pull in, you know, where they'd be pulling in and the lights would be shining across. Those are the places that we can easily like identify and say, is there enough planting there? Like, can we have some additional, you know, boxwoods or whatever?
And even thick, dense understory shrubs, multi-stem shrubs, even if they're not evergreen, would also start to address some of, you know, headlight. We did that in one of the
yes, we did do that. We did it
by the
at
beauty parlor where they had to park, and they were adding
it was
in a
on
couple of
Clifton Park. Crescent, you're right. Yes, Crescent.
So if they add, you know, so if they have a bunch of conifers, like you're saying, Carol, that's awesome. And then kind of this layer of, you know, 5 to 8 foot tall, multi-stem deciduous shrubs, it's still going to be so many branches that it will help also. And kind of create that multi-layered effect.
If any of us have free time, you know, walking it this time of year and kind of thinking about what the people across the river are looking over at may give us some ideas of where it would be good to plant some buffers. So
yeah, I volunteer, but not when it's -6. Every time we go, it's
I know,
-6.
every time. If we schedule a meeting, it's definitely below 0.
Yeah.
So yeah, and if I see that article, I'll send it out to everyone. I meant to, just because, you know, it did, you know, they were talking about the landscaping plan specifically there at River's Ledge.
Yeah.
I think they can do even better. I mean, okay, cutting from again, we're pulling numbers from our head here, but it was something like 500X, and cutting that down to 250 is an improvement, but that's still a huge amount. I have to take continuing ed credits, to maintain my certifications. And this time of year is when they pack them all in because we're not out planting trees. So I've been taking a lot these last couple of weeks. And one this morning talked about yet another boxwood issue that is in Western New York that is heading our way.
Yeah.
So to have 250 in a monoculture in this area is not going to be beneficial. That's just one example. I mean, I'm saying that about any plant having that many. It also, if we diversify, we're going to be able to have different plants flowering at different times, which supports pollinators. There's something blooming in May, something blooming in June, something blooming in July, so that we're feeding the pollinators and the birds through the whole season. So if we can continue to collaborate with them on that, that would be good.
Mm-hmm. And Laura, were you going to say something? Like you were going to say something? No.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just going to say that we were waiting for them to submit the foundation plan, which I think, you sort of talked about that.
Okay. Okay. So then if we're finished with River's Ledge, I guess we go on to our reports.
Could I ask, I don't know if this is new business or discussion item.
Okay.
Can we get a list, and I don't want to invade anyone's privacy, but can we get a list of committee members with the name and the phone number and the email? So for example, I wanted to call Daryl because Daryl, you and Paul are on the tree planting subcommittee. But I don't have people's phone numbers, not everybody's. And if people are okay with it privacy wise, would that be all right to have a list?
Yeah, if people are okay with it.
Just you, Amy.
I think we're all part of a group, a committee, and it seems normally at work you do have each other's phone numbers and stuff. I think it's appropriate.
Mm-hmm. We have each other's email because we're all on the distribution.
Right.
So. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And sometimes the email, sometimes it's obvious because it's your name, but if it's not, it might be hard to know who goes with which email. So I just thought it would be nice to have a list for quick reference.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Public Outreach Subcommittee. The Tree City, we did get certified, and Laura, thank you. You really did everything on that this year. That's great that we're
Awesome work.
again certified. And I missed last month's meeting. I know there was talk about doing a big tree hunt from reading the meeting minutes, and also talk about a photo contest. So I don't know where we stand on that. I haven't had any meetings with the subcommittee. So were we thinking of doing the big tree hunt?
Yeah, I put that information together, and it did seem like it wowould be relatively easy to just do an email blast and have people start measuring their trees the simple way that Michigan had done, because I think Amy mentioned the last time, like if you read the rules for New York's, like 2 sentences in, unless you love trees, you're gonna be like, I'm done. Okay. But we're, in Michigan, they just said, go up to the tree, like measure it where your arms are and send us a picture of the measurement. And they got a bunch of measurements, and they got a bunch of really cool pictures of people with their arms around these big trees. So I didn't move any farther on it, not because I don't love it and want to do it, but I think it is doable if you guys wanted to do it.
Okay.
Oh, Faith, I was going to say for the Tree City certification, can you put that on our Instagram account?
Oh, and our website, John, maybe you have it on the website. Okay. And I think we should put on that we are been a Tree City since whatever year it is, instead of like we have 14 years or whatever, because then every year we have to change it. which we haven't been changing, but if we just say we've been a tree city since whatever that first year was.
Well, so what's weird about that is they give you credit for years even if they're not continuous. So it's not 14 continuous years. So when the tree council was originally formed, like in the 90s or something, they were certified for like 10 years straight. But then there was a break and the tree council was dissolved for a little while and we weren't certified tree city for like 5 or 8 years. And now we've started consecutive again. So the reason I put it like that is because we haven't been consecutively a tree city since like 1990.
Okay, okay.
What the webpage says right now, and this is left over from before I came on, says Niskayuna has been a Tree City USA community for 15 years.
Yeah, but we've had that on for a few years. And I don't know what it is now, if it's 16 or
I
17.
think it's 16 now. I'll look for you. I mean, we could even put the ranges. And I mean, I guess maybe nobody cares. It could just be because I'm a technical person.
Yeah,
Because
I think it's Niskayuna is a certified Tree City USA, and then in parentheses just list all the years or something like that.
Yeah, you could do that too, because there's a gap.
Yeah.
Like there's like an
Yeah.
8-year gap or something.
And maybe we list, whatever it is, 1990 to 1999, and then 2010 to present.
Yeah.
And then we can just keep it like that until,
Yeah.
well, hopefully we won't have a gap again.
Okay, so I can get you, Faith and Jonathan. Do you want me to get you the years that we were certified?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That would be great.
So Laura, was there stuff on the
Let's
big
do,
tree hunt that you sent out?
Only the stuff I put in the packet. I can't remember if
Okay.
Amy Lamina wanted to look at that a little bit more or if I was going to do it.
Okay, and I can take a look at it now. I'm kind of back. My computer died and there were a few other things that were going on in January, but I'm back. My sister broke her wrist on one of those ice storms and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
no. Okay.
so anyway, and our pipes leaked and everything came into the living room. So, it's been an interesting January, but back on the swing of things here. So, I can take a look at that too, Laura. So,
Okay, yeah. All I had was the documentation I put, which is on the website in the January packet. But
Okay.
it seems to be pretty simple.
okay.
I think Carl's been trying to say something here.
Yeah.
Just to move on here, the Arbor Day Foundation has us listed for 17 years. as
Oh,
a
okay. I'll find the
Okay.
years.
Okay.
It doesn't say the excuse me, doesn't say the years, just says 17 years.
Okay. And Amanda, hi, Amanda. Amanda just joined.
Hi, Carol. Hi, everybody.
So, and we're onto the reports, Amanda. So the next one is the tree inventory and tree master plan subcommittee. Now, I don't know if we have anybody from that subcommittee here.
Not today.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Oh, well, Carol, I was actually wondering if we could go back to public outreach for a second. I forgot
Oh,
to
sure.
put this on there, but on the Climate Smart Communities Task Force, our youth representative there was talking about how the high school is working on their own like big Earth Day celebration. And I mean, it's only like a couple days away from Arbor Day. And the thought was that we might be able to combine Earth Day, do a combination Earth Day, Arbor Day celebration with the high school students this year, which I thought would be really cool. He's working on the details, but I wanted to know how you guys would feel about that. Like we'd still do our tree giveaway, and hopefully with COVID numbers down, we could actually have people, like get out of their cars and come and talk to us like we used to. And and we could have high school booths, and we could have like arborists and stuff come again.
And where are we thinking? Is there any thought on where we would have it?
So he was asking for the high school, but there may be an issue with construction at the high school. I'm not 100% sure about that. But we were thinking either the high school or Blatnick Park.
Okay.
I think the high school is going to be pretty ripped up.
Yeah, maybe that was what you were saying. Is that,
Yeah.
Carol? Yeah. So
I
then,
didn't actually think about it at the time, but I messaged you about it later.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so then we were thinking we could do Blatnick somewhere where you could get, I think we'll have more people. Like we might even want to order more trees because with that kind of involvement, hopefully we would get a lot more people. So maybe town
So-
hall again too, because town hall can take a lot of people.
Yeah, would Blatnick Park, I don't think the parking is enough.
It's where the parking is, it isn't great. Because they
Yeah.
even wanted to reach out to some of like the farmers market vendors, and I mean, really go for it, which I think would be fun.
It would be. And at one point we had pre-COVID, we had talked about bringing it to the town hall so that we would have an indoor space where we could do some talks.
Yeah, which we can do again.
So I don't know, what level we're at with masking and COVID and all.
Yeah, we
I know.
got. I mean, I didn't get a chance to email you guys, but we did get our mask mandate lifted today, so you could come without your. I know I emailed you that you had to wear your mask because yesterday you did. Today, at the end of the day.
I did notice that you're in town hall without a mask. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm still wearing it around, but since we don't have a mandate, I feel like it's a little bit better.
Well, maybe what we should do is have a public outreach subcommittee meeting and invite Peter,
Okay.
and talk about Arbor Day and what he's thinking and, what we're thinking. So,
Carol, what date is that going to be?
well, Arbor Day
The celebration day.
is typically, let me
Thursday, I
just pull up the calendar.
Daryl, you're so quiet for some reason.
Am I?
Who?
I apologize. I wasn't meaning to go. Am I louder now?
Yeah, that's better.
I don't know what I'm, maybe I'm just quiet.
I think Arbor Day is like, let me just check.
Second, I think. April 22nd. I think,
Okay, and so we usually have it that Saturday, which would be the 23rd, right? That's typically what we do, because in order to pick up to get the trees, they have them that Friday.
Yes.
And so we have to get the tree, we can't change the weekends very easily because we wouldn't be able to get the trees.
And I was talking about that with Peter. Like, we don't have a lot of wiggle room on our Arbor Day date because I think the Schenectady County Soil and Water dates came out again, and pickup is so I think Earth Day is the 22nd and Arbor Day is the 29th.
Oh, okay.
And then the Schenectady, they just sent out an email. Did you get that email too, Daryl? I went in to do their pickup.
look for it now.
Yeah, Arbor Day is the 29th, but we don't always do it right. Oh, wait, so we would have to do it the 30th probably.
Yeah, let me see what the pickup date is for the trees, because I think that's the date that always actually sets our Arbor Day. You can't get trees any earlier.
Right.
All right, I can't find it.
Hold on, I'm gonna look. Okay, I've got it.
While you guys are looking, I've noticed that Faith has the best background for professional office look. So in one of the seminars that I was taking, they talked about make sure your background, looks nice and looks good. And Faith, yours is the textbook looking.
It
one.
is. It looks wonderful.
It really
Yeah.
is.
I just looked it up and it is the 29th with the Saratoga Soil and Water. So we could pick up the 28th.
Oh, really? Because I went to the Saratoga County Soil and Water Conservation District, and it says pickup date Friday, April 22nd at the Middle Line Road. Is that what?
21? You're 21 or 22?
2022. What are you looking at, Carol?
I'm looking at Saratoga Soil and Water Conservation Arbor Day pickup.
Oh, weird.
Um,
Where do we normally pick them up? I have not ever picked them up.
Yeah, it's up in Ballston Spa at the Saratoga Fairgrounds, typically on that, what's it called, High Rock.
It's not on Middle Line.
I don't think so.
I think it's at the 4-H.
Yes. Mhm.
Spot. I'm not exactly sure what.
I've
where
done
that
it
is.
once.
So I will, hold on. I'll show you guys what I'm looking at.
While you're looking, I had one other public outreach question about we thought about doing another tree photo contest in different seasons, and I was wondering with the last
Yeah.
storm, I thought to myself, boy, this would be a good time to maybe get some cool photos. Are we still thinking about doing that?
So I think that's what we were talking about the last meeting, whether we wanted to do a winter photo contest or we wanted to do the big tree contest.
'Cause we could use the big tree pictures.
We could use some of those as well. Yeah.
Yeah, thinking about it now, I'm not sure winter time is the best time to be doing the big tree contest. If people want to go out and hug their tree when it's got ice and snow all over it.
That's true.
There's no leaves either.
Yeah, right.
We could do a winter challenge and then a summer challenge.
I think you would get some lovely photos with snow and ice on trees if you did a winter photo contest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would just have to do it fairly quickly
'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we're already into mid-February, so we'd probably have to do it for March.
But didn't the groundhog predict even more?
He did.
Darn it.
So, this is what I have. The pickup date is Friday, April 22nd at the 4-H Center, and the order deadline is in March.
Huh.
And then if you go to shop now and you go to like,
Yeah, that's what I have too.
I think this is what this is what we normally get. It's just a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
They've got the pawpaws, Eastern redbud. tulip
Okay.
trees. That's not as many as they normally have.
No.
Well, maybe they're kind of mixed in because there's the dogwood. Evergreen. You go to spruces. Yeah.
I got the sense that Peter thought they would be fairly flexible about the day one weekend over the other.
Yeah, he did think that. Yeah.
Okay.
So we would, I mean, I think if we set the weekend that we need for our trees, they'll combine with us.
Okay.
And we can look because, yeah, that's definitely less selection than we had last time. There's really only like 5 different trees. What are you looking at, Carol? Like maybe you have more trees than I do.
No. I think you've got the right one,
Okay.
but there is a phone number, so maybe I'll try to call them just to confirm.
Is this the Saratoga tree?
Yeah, the
Nursery.
Saratoga one has pickup way earlier than the Schenectady one, which is why we typically use them because the Schenectady one is a couple weeks after.
Because the one
usually.
I'm looking at is at the 50 West High Street, Boston Spa, New York, which is typically where we pick them up.
Yeah, I mean maybe yours is different because yours says Arbor Day trees.
Oh, no, order pickup date, Friday, April 22nd.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah. At the 4-H Training Center. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So it would be the 23rd. We would do the 23rd.
Okay, so we can invite Peter to the Arbor Day and we'll do Arbor Day April 23rd.
Mhm.
And Laura, do you have access to containers and soil like you had in the past? If I'm able to come up with a new tree seedling,
Yeah.
tree seed?
Mhm.
So we've done 2 already. If I can figure out what would be fun to do for a third one, we could maybe continue that.
Yeah.
The Dawn Redwood. That's an old one.
I don't know if
We
we
can get
can
the
do that
seeds.
with seed.
Mhm.
Let me work on it, Carol. Let me see what we can.
Well, I just knew we were doing old trees, so it
Yeah,
came to mind.
maybe we can find a source for some little plugs or seedlings for some unusual little thing. Like, let me look, Carol. Let
Okay.
me see what I can do.
Okay. Well, good. Okay, so I'll take it upon myself to set up a public outreach subcommittee meeting in the next week or so we can talk about our subcommittee goals. Tree inventory and tree master plan. I don't think there's any change or update on that.
No, the only one, because there's different people on the call today, is that if one of you guys wanted to be on the comprehensive plan as like the tree council member to the comprehensive plan, just let me know.
Okay. I am going to reach out to the Arbor Day. They have some master tree plans, kind of templates, and just want to see what they're suggesting should go in there versus, what we're putting in ours. So, or maybe get some ideas. So, and then the tree planting subcommittee.
That's me.
Yeah.
So this is why I want to have people's numbers. I also wanted to call Chris because I really want to use that thing I've been talking to, the thing that they did where you see the tree deserts marked in red. I
Yeah.
want to look at that so that we can really see all the areas in town that
That's
need.
on our website.
Mhm.
And maybe, John, you could show her where it is on our
Yes.
website.
Yes, give me a lesson.
Because I've gone in and played with it some, Amy, right on the website.
Okay, so I don't have to contact Chris.
We might have
No.
taken it
Okay.
down. Jonathan, you're on mute. Oh, no, you're not.
Yeah, I just unmuted. So what was it we were looking for?
The
The map that Steve made that showed where there were areas that didn't have as many trees.
The tree master plan?
Yeah.
No, it's not, and it's not there.
It used to
Hmm.
be, but I think we took it down because the module needed to be updated or something.
Yeah.
I saw it recently. Well, I don't know how recently it was now. Let me just double check.
Guys, I'm gonna have to bow out here because my son has a concert tonight. So we don't have any other well, Amanda's here now, so I think we're good. I hope.
Thanks,
So
So
Daryl.
Daryl, I'm going to contact you so we could do a subcommittee meeting.
Yes, and I'm also on Facebook. I don't know. I think you can
Oh
sometimes.
yeah,
so
I'm friends with you. Okay.
I'm just like, I feel like I'm flat out right now, but I'm kind of in between seasons. But I started coaching indoor and outdoor track again, so it's like feeling a little overwhelmed. But you can definitely get me, and I'm happy to talk to you about anything and help out where I can.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll see ya.
Actually, now that you got me exploring the webpage, I realize there's some broken links I need to work on.
Yeah, I don't see it right at the moment, but I know I looked at it, Laura, right when we had that meeting with the people from Guilderland,
Yeah,
and it was there then.
that wasn't that long ago.
No, that was in December, which just reminded me we were supposed to send a list to them, which I didn't have, the
No.
prohibited and the list of approved trees and prohibited trees.
Oh, our master tree list? Yeah.
Yes, our master tree list. Do you have that electronically? I didn't seem to have it electronically.
I do. I can send that to you and her.
Okay, thanks. Amy, we'll find it. I know it's around.
Thank you.
Because I find it very useful, when we're talking about where to plant trees, to just
Yeah.
go and see where the red areas are.
I mean, they already did all the work.
Yeah. So now we're not updating it, but at least we have a baseline. So, Amy, was there anything else with the tree planting subcommittee?
No. So we've got to figure out which sections, if we can try to do another neighborhood massive plant. Oh, and what is our status on hats and vests?
So I used the remainder of the last year's budget just on trees, but we do still have those vests, and I think Jean and I could get the words on the back of them printed, Tree Council. So we could definitely do that this spring.
And Laura, are there any grants that we should be going for?
Oh, I mean, not related to hats and vests,
Right,
but
right.
there is a grant that just came out, which was really exciting to me. It is an community forest preservation grant where you have to pick an area that's privately owned, that's greater than 10 acres, that's more than 75% forested, and you get a 90% grant, 10% match to purchase. It has to be cash, but to purchase private forests and make them community forests, that are open and available to the public to recreate. So that is a really cool grant. I listened to the grant rules like maybe last week, and I've been working with the Natural Resources Inventory Committee to identify some areas where we might be able to go after a forest preservation grant.
But there's nothing for like doing street tree inventory or,
I'm still waiting for the inventory grant to come around again because I think we're extremely competitive for it now. But
Okay.
ever since we became competitive, they haven't released it. It used to be an annual, and I
Right.
think it's been 3 years since they released it now.
Okay.
Is there going to be another round from National Grid like last year?
So that program that National Grid does is open every year. National Grid did a little bit more flexibility last year because of that storm.
Yeah.
But in corridors where there's power lines, we're always eligible to use that National Grid grant because we use that one on Cornelius all on our own.
So maybe part of the selection should consider that.
Yeah.
We did get such leeway last year, leeway with type of tree, size of tree, location. It was awesome. I took full advantage of it too. So, so maybe then I'll also consider areas that are tree deserts but have wires so we can get it funded through that program. All right, I will note that. Yes, yes. So that's it for me.
Okay. Anything else then?
They have, it's not actually a council thing, but I need to ask this before we close. This is for Laura. I got an email from Steve Signell.
Mhm.
He says he sent you an invoice in December, but he hasn't got a response from you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did respond to him, I think a couple days ago, that I'm gonna. So that's for him to help maintain our website,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get that paid.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
So did you send him a reply, or should I reply to him now? Because he's
I
been
replied
wondering
to
what.
him. Did he send it to you
Okay.
today? I replied to him a couple days ago, I think.
Yeah, no, he sent it to me on February 3rd.
Yeah, I've since
Okay.
replied to him.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks everyone. Then, can somebody make a motion for us to adjourn?
I'll motion.
Okay. Somebody want to second it? Amanda will second it. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for joining, and we'll meet same date in March 10th. And in the meantime, with the public outreach, I'll hold a meeting. Okay. Thanks
you, Carol.
everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
Yes.